So this week we're giving away this double Velcro visor organizer. Attaches around your visor and gives you a handy dandy overhead pocket to store whatever you feel like, receipts, sunglasses, whatnot. And if your car is like mine, you can't Velcro patches to the ceiling, which is super sad, like major super sad. But you could fit like 8 patches on the front of this and maybe like 10 on the back. Stay tuned to the end of the show. You can find out how to win this for free and roll the intro. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Blue Ridge Bonfire, the official show of Blue Ridge Overland Gear. We're all about overcoming the obstacles to getting outside. Good to have you guys along for the ride. I'm CT.
And I'm Velcro Visor Organizer.
So this week we're gonna talk about the events coming up. We've got a question of the week, which is a new segment. Broad gear releases, which is the stuff we've been up to, and of course the weekly giveaway. We're also going to tell you who won last week, so stay tuned for that. So, Adam, what do we got going for events this week?
We have got a great event coming up. We have got John Fury's Overlander, Wilderness, and Remote First Aid class. That is coming up on December 20th to the 22nd here at the Blue Ridge Overland Gear Shop in Bedford, Virginia. You can contact John Fury for details of that. We will have a link in the bio for that.
Link in description for his email.
Yep.
and how to do that. All right. So I think that does it for events. We will actually have John on next week to talk about his class. So what are the obstacles to getting outside in the winter, and how do we talk ourselves out of it, and what can we do about it?
So some obstacles to getting out in the winter, obviously, is the cold. That's probably the toughest part. You're leaving your nice warm house and the comfort of that to go outside and play around out in the wilderness and hopefully explore and find some adventure. So the most important thing to getting there and doing that is dressing properly. For the longest time, I personally couldn't stand wintertime. I didn't want to go outside at all, and that's a really depressing time when you're just sitting in the house all winter. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Lack of sunlight, that kind of stuff. So I finally started buying and investing in the warm gear to keep me warm while I'm out, in the field. Whether that's wool socks, long underwear, just layering properly in general, and wearing the right gear. And I promise you can be totally comfortable out in the cold, like not cold at all, and still have a great time. So I'd say dressing properly is one of those obstacles.
So that's a big obstacle for me, where I just don't want to. I don't want to go out because I'm just afraid of being cold. Also, too, so like a sleeping bag. What do I need to be looking for?
So when it comes to, there are different temperature ratings on sleeping bags, and I would say a good rule of thumb is to have your bag rated 20 to 30 degrees above the actual low ambient temperature of the night. So say, for example, it's going to be 0 degrees Fahrenheit that night. I would say you probably want a bag rated to like negative 30 degrees, for example. Or if it's going to be freezing, freezing temperature, 32 degrees, you probably want like a 0 degree bag, for example.
Yeah.
If you have a bag that's rated a little closer to your ambient temperature, you can actually add a liner to it and add about 10 to 15 degrees to it.
Now, my girlfriend says a sleeping bag's not enough. I tell her, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be a warm sleeping bag. She's like, no, I need a heater. What can we do? It's a tent.
Heaters are great. Wool blankets are also great as well.
Okay.
So there is, one thing called a Mr. Buddy heater. And the nice thing about those, they run on propane, so you can put a 1 gallon or 1 pound propane bottle on there. Pretty much run those things most of the night, depending on if it's on high or low. But one thing I do recommend doing is they have an internal cutoff for carbon dioxide detection. So if that gets a little high inside your tent, that will actually cut off automatically. If the buddy heater falls over, it will cut off automatically. What I recommend doing is actually cracking your tent open and venting the tent properly. That way condensation doesn't build up on the inside, and it's not, you touch the top of the tent and it's raining on you all of a sudden. I've been there. That sucks.
Gotcha.
And then the other part of that is actual condensation developing on the outside of the tent, thus freezing a zipper and shutting you inside the tent. That's not fun either. Been there too.
So my tent has like the netting on the top, and I feel like just cold air gets in. Do I need a different tent for like wintertime that's all sealed across the top?
I would recommend probably like a double wall material tent of some kind. Something a little bit thicker than a thin, super thin summer tent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So one of the big things for me is I don't know where to go or what to do. Like, wintertime just doesn't seem scenic. Like, everything seems gray. Like, it might be pretty if there's snow, but, like, I feel like all the overlooks and the views are ruined. Like, I don't know what to go out and do. Like, what should my trips be built around?
So when it comes to the overlooks and really just kind of looking out over mountain ranges, yes, it is a little more dead looking in the wintertime. However, the Blue Ridge Parkway is a great example. A lot of those good overlooks and whatnot are covered up by trees with leaves on them during the summer. Wintertime, you've got some great views, specifically on the Blue Ridge Parkway and other places as well. But really, to get out there and find places to go, I would recommend looking on Google Maps and just start exploring. Design a route through an area that you're interested in, and then go drive it. And if you see any cool roads along that route that you're driving, and they're legal to drive, they don't have any no trespassing signs, go drive those too,
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying, like, instead of making it about the destination and, like, just trying to find that Instagram shot, make it about a journey, a trip, or a drive.
Make the destination to find cool places.
Okay.
Make that the destination rather than having it be a town or a city or wherever. Just go out and adventure. Just go find cool stuff. That's how I find it.
Gotcha. I was curious also too, if I got caught in a snowstorm, like, what should I do? Is there anything to be looking out for? I've never actually, like, camped and, like, woken up in the snow before.
I would hope that most people would be prepared that there's going to be a snowstorm by looking at the forecast. Because you don't want to just go out into the wilderness and all of a sudden be trapped, for example. That's extremely dangerous, especially if you don't have the right gear.
Oh, that's not me. I'm not a planner. I just don't look at the weather.
Well, you definitely want to plan. You absolutely, probably the first thing you want to do before planning a trip is look at the weather to make sure there's not going to be something that's going to trap you in a less populated area.
But is there anything specifically, like, that I would want to have with me that might be good for
For snow?
For snow, wet conditions, stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, having like some kind of GPS with an SOS. For example, the Garmin InReach is a great thing to have, especially if you get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Certainly, some kind of traction board or a winch, recovery equipment, etc. Also, some warm clothes in case you need to spend the night in your vehicle. Another important thing is if you are going to go out there and brave the snow, is bring some dry firewood if possible. If not, at least a starter log. And one great thing to also bring with you in an emergency, if you can't find dry firewood, is a road flare. They will absolutely burn hot enough to burn some wood at some point. You just got to kind of keep trying.
So I think that wraps it up for the question of the week. And that brings us to the Broad Gear releases. That's the stuff that we've been up to this week. And this week we released the Subaru Outback/Forester Attic.
Super excited about this Attic. Reason being is not many companies make a lot of gear for Subarus, and there are a lot of great enthusiasts out there, and there are excellent cars. I love Subarus.
Yeah.
In fact, you own one as well.
I have a Forester, and this Attic fits.
Yeah, needless to say, we're excited about now creating some gear and some storage solutions for Outbacks because there are plenty of them in the Overland community, and we do have that Attic available on our website for certain years of vehicles, so Foresters and Outbacks, so you can check that out, and we'll have a link in the description.
Links in the description. It's $69.99. Get yours, get it first in line, and it is a great Christmas gift. The years that it should fit any Outback or Forester after 1996. That's when they introduced the anchor points on the ceiling that this attic needs to attach. But we can't be sure of exactly which vehicle, so you got to check and make sure you got the anchor points, but all the spacing should be the same.
Yep.
So I think that wraps up the Broad Gear releases, and that brings us to, drum roll please, the weekly giveaway.
What's wrong with my drum roll?
And the winner from last week is...
We have Don Meredith on YouTube commented, and we have you as the winner from the random number generator. Congrats, Don.
Congrats.
Shoot us a message, contact us via email, give us a call. We just need your information so we can figure out where to ship your small black individual first aid kit.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We don't have a way to contact you, Don, because Instagram or YouTube doesn't let us direct message you, and you didn't give us your Instagram handle. So email us at bonfire@blueridgeoverlandgear.com. We want to get your address so we can ship this to you, sir. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And that brings us to this week. What are we giving away this week? This is the double Velcro visor organizer that we talked about at the top of the show. So Adam, how can people win this?
So to enter, we want you to leave a comment down below and tag 2 friends. 2
friends, not 1, but 2.
2.
If you guys are on YouTube, please give us your Instagram handle so that we can message you guys directly.
Yep,
And we
some
know who
kind
you
of way
are.
to contact you.
Some way to contact
Yep.
you. Yes, please.
Excellent.
Alrighty.
So I think that's going to conclude the show for this week.
I think that's it. As always, leave a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. If you have any tips for future topics and questions that we can talk about that would help fellow Overlanders, we'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I think that's all the fun I got. See you next time.
You stay classy and warm, Overlanders.